So welcome everybody to yoga this morning. We're going to start laying down. Have a block and this grab where you can grab it easily, wherever that is for you. And then start down on your backs. Your knees can be bent or your legs can be straight. Either one is okay. And just start to bring yourself fully onto your mat. Feel your shoulders start to drop down to the floor. Feel your pelvis nice and neutral, your head in alignment so that your chin isn't either overly tucked or rising up toward the ceiling. Your hands can be down at your sides and just let everything relax. Start to feel your breath, feel your body starting to snuggle down onto your mat. Maybe move your head side to side and just notice where, I always think of it as my flat spot. Where is the flat spot at the back of the head? Where does it feel most centered for you? And then check the shoulders. Do they feel like they're roughly the same height? Do they feel like they're both descending down to the floor evenly? And again, with the ribs, the hips, the legs. Then we start to tap into our breath. We feel the belly rising up with the inhale and softening back down with the exhale. Notice your energy level this morning. Notice maybe your emotional state, how your heart is feeling this morning. All of those things we nurture in our yoga classes. Just breathe. Start to bring the breath in a little bit deeper, from low belly to mid belly to chest. Exhaling it all the way out. Good. 3 more deeper breaths here. Inhale, reach it in. Exhale, let it all go. And again, inhale, deep breath. And exhale it out. And then start to energize the body as if you were standing. So bring the legs into alignment so that your toes are pointing up toward the ceiling. Start to feel the legs engage as if you were standing on the floor. Start to feel the hips, glutes engage. The shoulders are down to their sides. Your palms are face in. Kind of think mountain pose, but laying down. Feel the crown of the head lengthening, right? Lifting toward that imaginary ceiling. Kind of get everything into intention, big squeeze, and then just let it go. Good, and then again, bring the toes so they're pointing up toward the ceiling. You are standing on the imaginary floor. You've just gotten another ½ inch taller as the crown of the head reaches toward the imaginary ceiling. Fire everything up, really get the legs going. Maybe lift the calf muscles off the floor, but dig the heels in, right? So that we mimic the bend of your knees. Good, breathe, squeeze in the glutes. Notice that work. And exhale it, go. Shake it out. And one more right here. Fire up the legs, toes point up. Soften the knees by taking the calf muscles maybe off the floor or just lightening them a little bit. Squeeze through your hips, your glutes. Feel the shoulders at the side body. Good. Hold the legs there. Take the arms up to the ceiling. And then slow, 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 let them come down behind you. And breathe. So thinking of mountain pose with the arms raised up, soften the ribs, the low ribs down to the floor. Your calf muscles are lifted away from the floor. The legs are active. Feel how much work is going on already. And then inhale the arms up. Soften the shoulders down. Let go of the whole pose. Good. And then bend your knees. Let your feet come to the floor and then draw your knees to your chest. Hold on to your knees and then just simply push the knees away and bring them in. So they're not going to go very far. Shift them away and bring them in. Good. 3 more right here. Just shift them away and pull them in and away. Good. Bring them in. One more time here. Push them away and bring them in. And then take the legs to about 90 or kind of away from you so that your arms are straight. The knees and the hips are lining up. Take your right hand to your front shin. Take your left hand above the knee on your thigh muscle. And push and pull. I just call this one push-pull. It's a nice hip reset. It helps with the SI joints. So I'm pushing my right shin into my right hand as if I could pull that leg away from me. And I'm pushing my left thigh into my hand as if it would get closer to me. So opposing action here. Find your breath. You can relax the feet a little bit and breathe for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the push. Switch sides. Your right hand to the top of your thigh, just above the knee, your left hand to your shin. And push and pull. Your right knee comes toward you isometrically. Your left knee moves away from you isometrically. Breathe. And just notice, right? Feel the energy. Feel this automatic kind of shift of the lower back into its neutral position. Breathe and release. Good. Switch sides again. Push and pull. Breathe. Just notice the back body, notice the hips, they kind of level out here. Find that pose. How hard you push pull is completely up to you. Release it. And last one. Right hand in front, left hand over the shin or around the shin. We're pushing, we're pulling, we're trying to keep those legs pretty much where they are, pretty even with each other. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release both. Bring both knees to chest. Hold your right knee in. Stretch your left leg long. It can hover a couple of inches off the floor. Breathe and then stretch the left hip. Really stretch that left hip, left leg. And bring that knee in. Switch sides. That's it. Find your pose. And switch again. Good. A little bit of floor warm up here. And last one. Breathe. Good. And then take both feet to the floor. Straighten both legs. Let both arms go overhead. So I've got my thumbs touching the floor. So whichever feels good for your shoulders is okay here. Palms face up is better, or palms face in is better. Either one is okay. From here, just bend your right knee, bring it into chest. Take the right knee out to the right side. Take it up and across. Grabbing it with your left hand, just slow, easy stretch. Bring it to center, hands behind your thighs. Straighten the leg up to the ceiling. Bend your right knee back to your chest. As you release the right leg long, the arms go overhead. Good. Bring the left knee in. Squeeze it into chest. Left hand takes that knee out to the left. Inhale, center. Bring it across to the right. Little baby twist. Bring it back to center, hands behind your thighs. You straighten that leg up to the ceiling. And then as you lower, release all that to the floor, arms overhead. Here we go again, right side. Bring it in. Exhale that knee out to the right side. Inhale it to center. Let it go across your body. Little twist here. Inhale to center. Hands behind your thighs. Stretch that leg up. Exhale, both the leg, the arms go long. Good. Left leg in. Bring that knee in. Stretch it out. Bring it out to the left side. Right arm can go out to the right. Inhale, center. Bring that knee across. And breathe. Inhale, center. Take the hands behind the thighs. Stretch that leg. Good. Release that leg. Arms overhead. Leg goes long. One more. Both sides, everybody. Bring your right knee in. Exhale it out to the right side. Inhale, center. Bring it all the way across. Inhale, center. Hands behind your thighs. Stretch that leg long. Good. Release. Take the arms overhead. Let the leg go down. Last one. Bring it in. Left side. Exhale it out to the side. Inhale all the way through center. Bring it across. Inhale, center. Hands behind your legs. Stretch it out nice and long. And release. Arms over and leg long. And then release your arms. And release your legs. Just shake it out here a little bit. And then straighten the legs again. Walk your heels, the heels of your feet. I guess that's really the only ones, heels of your hands. But walk your heels to your right corner of your mat. And then shimmy your shoulders toward the right side of your mat. Here's the tricky part, is keeping the left hip level with the right. So don't roll off your left hip. So only stretch to that side while keeping that hip down. Your right hand can be down at your side. Your left arm will go overhead, soft elbow, and stretch the left side of your body. So this is called banana pose or bananasana. Breathe. I first learned this in a yin yoga training class. But just notice, we're going to work on 3 different poses, just different variations of them, and one of them is a side stretch. I read an article this morning that talked about hip alignment and the often overlooked poses to help with hip alignment, and one is a side stretch, one is a quadricep stretch, and one is twist. So we're just going to play there today. So I'm going to ask you to tap in to your body as we do this. See if you can find patience, see if you can find inquiry. Breathe. You can always cross your left ankle over your right, but check that out. This can be really tricky on the SI joints. So if you feel a little yucky kind of tug or pull at your hip, uncross your ankles. Good, deep breath. And then come out the way that you came in. So if your ankles are crossed, let that go. Let the left arm come back down to your side. Shimmy your shoulders back to center and walk your heels back to center. And pause just for a second to see how that felt for you. Good. When you're ready, walk the heels to the left edge of your yoga mat. Shimmy your shoulders toward the left side. Check the right hip, make sure it's still level and down toward the floor, and take your right arm overhead. Relax your head, your neck, your jaw. Your head can be anywhere it wants to be. You can deepen the stretch by moving the right arm over to the left a little bit more, but watch that right hip, make sure it stays down. And just check your breath here. Check the line of your body. If you want a deeper stretch, either walk the heels to the left a little bit more or maybe cross your right ankle over your left and see how that feels for you and where the tug or pull is. Good, deep breath. Actually feel this stretch way deep in the belly, right at the side here. So you might notice one side tighter than the other, right? These imbalances in the body. So we're not going to be in a hurry to go to the next pose and go to the next pose. We're just going to check it all out. Good, and then release. Start to come out the way you came in. Release the arm first. Oh, sorry, if your ankles are crossed, release those. Let the arm come down. Shimmy your shoulders back to the center of your mat. Walk your heels back to the center of your mat. Pause for a moment here, and then bend your knees. Bring your knees to your chest. Good, feet to the floor. Shift your hips to the left edge of your mat. Bring your knees to your chest. Bring your knees toward your chest. Grab your block if you have it in case you need it or want it. I want you to lower your knees to the right. Maybe your knees land on your block because twists can be different for different people. We're not super warmed up. So if you want the block under your knees, put it there. If you don't need it, don't want it, don't put it there. And if your knees are kind of separate from each other, maybe the block goes between your knees. Well, notice how that feels. And then the right shoulder shimmies over toward the right. The back body gets wider. One or both arms go out to T position. Just an easy twist here. Take your time, especially if your back is a little tender, to support it, especially a block under the knees at any height can help support an easier opening of the muscles. So Dr. Lee Alpert is a yoga teacher and chiropractor. And the article I was reading this morning was about allowing the belly of the muscle to stretch. And as we allow the belly of the muscle stretch, we get out of the attachments and into the meat of the muscle, allowing more balance to occur. So it's very interesting to see how it feels to just linger for a moment with the breath, with the body, with sensation. All right, so if you have a block between your knees, just release that block to the side. Squeeze your belly, one knee up, other knee up. Both feet to the floor. Shift your hips through the center of your mat and then over to the right edge. Bring the knees toward your chest. Slowly lower your knees to the left. So here we are again. Notice maybe the left shoulder shimmies to the left a little bit so that the whole chest, the whole back body widens. Maybe a block under the knees, maybe a block between the knees as we allow the abductors to stretch, right? This outer hip line, maybe we let those stretch a little bit more gently and not just hang in space. Let me just kind of check it out. Where is my body today as we play with a beginning twist? How does this feel for me as I allow the breath to take the body a little bit deeper? Not by force, maybe by gravity, maybe just by waiting for the tight spots to open up a little bit. Good, one more deep breath right here. And then squeeze the belly in as we engage the core. We protect the lower back, bring one knee up, the other knee up, both feet to the floor. Good, and then grab your strap just in case you need it. We're gonna lay on our right side. Your head is comfortable wherever it is for you. Ideally, it's kind of lined up. You can even take a block, by the way, and put it under your head if you want. Some of you are going to need a strap and some of you are not. We're going to stretch the top leg, the front part of that leg, quadricep and psoas. I'm gonna move a little bit away from the wall. So start on your right side, your knees are bent, one stacked on top of the other. If you think you might want a strap, grab your strap and just loop it around your foot. Now the tricky part here for all of us is to start moving the knee toward the chest and then away from the chest, but don't fall into your lower back. So don't arch so far back that you start to drop the hip and do all that funky stuff. I just want you to see where your hip, front, quads, all that stuff is. So bringing the knee toward your chest and then sliding it along an imaginary table behind you with due diligence to not go into the low back too much. So sliding it back. This one is a little trickier, right? It can be hard to find that line without arching the back. Good, one more just right here. Breathe. And then stay at that line or straighten the leg out in front of you. Keep the toes and the knees pointing in the same direction. And then slide the whole leg behind the table and then back again. So bringing it up towards shoulder and then sliding it back. Notice if you start to get into the lower back here, press your bottom leg into the floor. That will help with stability. Of course, core engagement here. Good, let's do 3 more right here. Slow, bring it up. Woo. Pressing it back. Bringing it up. Pressing it back. Good, last one here. Bring it up. Bring it back. If you can, bend the knee. If you want, reach back, find your foot or use your strap to bring the heel closer to your glute and feel your lovely quadricep, your thigh muscle stretching. Tuck the belly in, not flattening the lower back, but just really engage belly to keep the pelvis neutral. And notice if you're getting tight here anywhere, like have you tightened up your fingers, your jaw? If this hurts your knee, use a strap. Don't compress so much in the knee. Just find the stretch. And then release, bring your knee to your chest. Release that leg fully, maybe stretch it out. And when you're ready, let's switch sides. So you can just turn it over or you can switch, do a little break dance there, laying on your left side, bend the knees 90 degrees, find your head comfortable. Good, and then the same thing, bring the top knee to your chest, and then keep the knee bent, but press it back. Press down through the bottom knee, just from a support standpoint, as you start to figure out where you are on this side. I'm always amazed that the tightnesses in my body seem to crisscross my body. Like it's my right shoulder and my left hip and my right knee, you know, and it makes sense, right? If your body is tight or imbalanced on one side, the other side is going to compensate. So we just kind of address, where is it? Now notice as you bring the knee back, where do you feel the stretch, right? Don't go into the low back, but just stretch through the belly, the psoas muscle, the quadricep muscle. Good, last one here, knee to chest, and then stretching it back, and then either stay here, or when you bring your knee to your chest, straighten the leg, toes are pointing straight ahead, hip level, knees in the same direction, and then press that back. Good, and bring it up, whew, and back. Be mindful of your body. You don't have to touch your nose with those toes, right? Just see where it's gonna go today. Good, breathe. Try to keep the legs sliding over the imaginary table so it's not dropping to the floor, nor is it lifting above the line of the hip. There you go. One more. Breathe. And then when you're ready, when that leg comes back, either keep it straight and just press through the front leg, squeeze the belly, or bend the knee. Use your strap or your hand to bring that knee or that heel closer to your glute. Try to not let the knee splay up up toward the ceiling. Keep it level. Now squeeze the belly, maybe a slight tuck of the hip. And notice. Where do you feel the stretch? For me on this side, it's mostly around the knee, so I'm gonna back off of it a little bit. The other thing the article said this morning was to not look for 100% stretch. Like, don't go to that 100 or 110%. Maybe back off a little bit to 80% and see how that feels in your body as you stretch the belly of the muscle. All right, release it. Bring it back to your chest. Maybe straighten the leg out long and let it go. And then press all the way up, come up to a seat. Good. Simple cross-legged pose here, just nice, easy Sukhasana if that's okay for your knees and for your hips. Otherwise, the legs can be straight. If your legs are straight, I would put a bend in the knees just so that you can keep your back body alignment. And then roll your shoulders and breathe. And inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale your right hand down, take the left arm over your ear. And then pause a little bit. Last couple of classes I've been doing this. So stretch the left side ribs out to the left side. And then squeeze them in. Good. Press them out and squeeze them in. 2 more. Press it out to the side. Feel the deeper stretch. And then squeeze them in to feel the contraction. Last one, press and squeeze in. And then hold the side bend. Let your arm just drape over your head. Let the elbow be the mover. Notice if the elbow is rolling to the front chest, and if it is, see if you can come more to the side body. Press strongly down to your left hip, your left sit bone. Soften the right shoulder, but press in through the hand. Right? So the weight of this pose is not on the shoulder, but just pressing down through the hand, down to the earth. Find your breath here. And if you're going for that 100%, if you're going for the big one, soften it a little and pause. Hard to hold side body stretches for this long. So I'm just checking it out. Where is the stretch for me? Am I rolling forward? Am I rolling back? What can I figure out? Good, extend the left arm, push off your right hand, take it up, woo, and exhale both arms down. Roll your shoulders. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm sitting like this. I feel like I'm taller on the left side at the moment. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, left hand down, shoulders soft, elbows soft, and stretch the right arm over your ear. Don't let that head drop down. So ear shouldn't be dropping down to the left shoulder. And then notice where you are in space. Can you stay mostly sideways? And then same thing. Really reach out the right side ribs. Really. And then squeeze them back in. And stretch them out. Squeeze them in, working with those little intercostal muscles. Stretch. Squeeze in, also the obliques, right? And last one, stretch it. And then squeeze those ribs in. Find your more neutral. Let that stretch get a little bit deeper. Drop the right arm over your head. Just let it rest. Let the elbow be the pointer, the mover, as we go deeper into your stretch. Now, press down through your right hip. I just noticed I was lifting off the right hip. So press down through that. Get that stretch all the way through side body into the back muscles. If your chin's lifting up, release it. If it's tucking, release it. Breathe. That's it. One more good deep breath here. I know it's a long one. And then release, stretch the arm, push off your left hand, reach both arms up, exhale, both down, roll your shoulders, we're almost done here. Inhale, both arms up, cactus arms, cactus arms. I want you to twist to the left, twist to the left, hold. Good, let the hands come down, seated twist. So if one of the three things we're focusing on today are twists, notice it here. I was talking to my Miss Betty over there and she said we don't do a lot of twisting anymore. If you think about driving a car and having to back up, how many people do you notice don't twist to look back anymore? They just look at their camera and hope all is well. I invite you to do both. Look at the camera, twist and look back. Here's a good thing for yoga. Big deep breath. Nice, slowly release. Release the arms, cactus arms, twist everything to the right. Feel the twist before you let the hands go. And then drop the hands. Shoulders are soft away from the ears. Your head, neck is relaxed, no tension there. Softening, lifting up through the torso, finding that twist and the length that goes with it. Feel your breath. I always think of this as squeezing the organs, you know, the stomach, the intestines, the kidneys, just everything, giving them a good squeeze like a sponge. And then as you release the twist, you let go of that sponge and it absorbs even more. All right, so start to release, go slow. Take it back to center and let those arms come down and roll it out. Nice job, everybody. All right, so let's get off our tushes here, come to table pose. If you have a blanket and you would like a blanket underneath your knees, that would be an awesome thing to do here. So find yourself in table pose, your wrists under your shoulders. Your knees underneath your hips. Maybe your knees go just slightly wider than your inner line of your hips. Press through the fingers. For a lot of us, index fingers are pointing forward. For some of us, it's the middle finger. Find the way that feels good for your particular wrist. And then a few cats and cows right here. That's it. Just stretch it out. Inhaling as you move into cow pose. Exhaling as you squeeze everything back in to cat. And exhale. Good. One more right here. And squeeze it in. And then come to a neutral spine. I want you to take your left hand and cross it over to the right corner of your mat. Once you find that little corner edge, drop your right forearm to the floor, press the hips back, and stretch your left side, and breathe. I even like to wiggle the hips a little bit. I feel this stretch all the way under the armpit, right into the side back muscles. Just stretch. And then come back to center, push out of that forearm, take the left hand right back where it was. And then when you're ready, we're gonna go to the other side. Your right hand reaches as far across as you can to that left corner edge, and then drop your left forearm to the floor as the hips descend back, maybe a little more to the right. Big deep breath. Maybe shift the hips a little side to side, find all those different fibers along your latissimus dorsi, those big wings of muscle at the back body. Deep breath, everybody. Good, and then come back to center as you release, push out of the left forearm, you're back to table pose. Good. And then walk your right hand toward the center of your mat. inhale your left arm up. Here we are in a twist again. We just did a side stretch. Now we're back in twist. As you exhale, eye of the needle, that left hand comes along the floor. We drop our head, shoulder to the floor. And then the right arm just descends forward, just to be comfortable. Find your breath here. Find a comfortable spot for your neck, your head. If it isn't comfortable, I want you to come out of this and relax. We don't want pressure or discomfort on the neck. Breathe. Good, and then slide your right hand under your right shoulder. Push up. Take the left arm overhead again. Stretch out for that twist. And exhale. Take it down. Let's go to the other side. Your left hand toward the center of your mat. The right arm reaches up. Find that. Maybe you stay here. Otherwise, exhale. Eye of the needle. That right arm comes down. Shoulder comes down. Your left arm just reaches toward the top of your mat. Belly squeezes. We find our pose. Maybe the hips shift if they've gone one side or the other. Breathe. As you're ready, release. Left hand on your shoulder. Right arm stretches back up. And exhale, let that go. And from here, table pose to downward facing dog. Press back. Just stretch it out. Bend one knee and then the other. Stretch out those lovely legs. And then walk your feet to your hands. Come into a forward fold. My shirt will walk right here. Breathe. Let the head hang. Let the shoulders be wide. Start to feel the sit bones reach up toward the ceiling. As we find those legs, the inner legs reaching toward each other isometrically, the back gets really long here. And then walk those hands up your knees. Bend the knees, lift your chest, come all the way up to standing. And roll those shoulders. Take it out. Good, and then find a nice mountain pose. Nice mountain pose. Good. Fire up the legs. Think about what we did when we were laying down. The feet pressed down. You're standing on that floor. Make it feel as if those feet could descend down through your mat just a little bit. Inhale, both arms up. As you exhale, the right hand goes down. The left arm goes over. Easy here. Remember that right hand is pressing into the leg. The leg is pressing or resisting. Now, watch the backs of the knees. Watch for that hyperextension. Squeeze instead through the belly. Don't go so deep that it feels awful, right? Let the arm drop over the head. Let the elbow lead the way. And then inhale, squeeze it up. Keep the arm where it is and drift that elbow toward the left. Inhale, center. Go back to the right, soft knees. One more. Squeeze, so contracting side body. Inhale, back over to the side. Extend the left arm out. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, the other side. Left hand comes down, right arm goes over. Think about 80%. Maybe today for you it's 50% stretch. Maybe you're babying. An injury. Your left hand pushes into your thigh presses back in, the head is in alignment. And notice, and then just drop the right arm over your head, the elbow pointing the way here. Squeeze the belly in. And then for 3, keep the arm where it is, stretch and compress and go over again. Good, that's 1. Squeeze it and open it. 1 more, squeeze it in, and open it. Reach the right arm, inhale both arms up, release both hands. Roll out your shoulders, take those legs nice and wide. Inhale the arms straight up, exhale, nice little goddess pose. And inhale, reach, Exhale, squeeze. Watch your pose. Don't drop into those knees too much, right? Breathe. The belly should be toned the whole time. You're sitting back in the heels here. And reach up. Good, come on down. And up, I hope you're breathing. Oh yeah, and up, squeeze those glutes, take it down. And squeeze, one more here, down. And then up, one more is never one more, take it down. Hold hands to your thighs, roll your shoulders, and just breathe. So this whole thing, right? I think we know this one by now. If your pelvis is just spilling forward, see if you can tone the belly in, drop the tailbone, lift the chest, and breathe. Your left arm goes to your left thigh. If that's too deep for you, it's a hand to the knee instead. And reach the right arm over. Good, you're gonna do cactus arms. Reach and change. That's it, reach and change. Whew. Good, reach and change. Smile, I know you're feeling your legs. And shift, belly squeeze. And shift, one more, both sides. Woo! That's it, you got it. And shift, last one, change. And center, and stand up. And exhale, let it go. And shake it out. Heel toe, those feet right back to the center. And then come to the front of your mat. Have your blocks to the front. Maybe your strap as well. So blocks and strap. And then inhale, reach up. Exhale, take it down to the floor. Once again, just notice the stretch. Right, notice the hips, soft backs of the knees. Soften both knees, step back with your right leg. Lower your knees to the floor. Grab your blocks if you have them, and let your hands come underneath your blocks. And just pause here for a second. So once again, right, stretching through the right front leg. But notice if you are stretching the hip, or if you're just kind of dumping in the low back. It's a tricky little line there. So I want you to start here, just breathe, just stretch. Checking your front knee alignment, front knee to front ankle, keeping that pretty much straight up and down. And from here, take your hands to your knee, back off your pose, you might have to slide your left heel back a little bit, and then tuck your pelvis. And breathe. Watch the knee here. If the knee feels funky, just don't sit up quite as high. Good, nice tuck of the pelvis. Let's find the stretch. So I found the article so interesting that we think of hips, we don't really think of the quadriceps as being part of what could cause the imbalance. We don't really think of side stretching, right, as part of the imbalance. So I'm really intrigued by this idea. So left hand stays on knee, maybe the right arm reaches up. Breathe. Maybe you slightly bend to the left, just slight. Keep the tuck of the pelvis. And then release, take your hands back to your blocks and allow yourself to go into a little bit deeper lunge. Your right hand stays on your block or on the floor, your left arm goes up. Here's our twist. Find your breath. And breathe. Exhale, hand comes down to the floor, or it comes down to your block. Lift your right knee off the floor. Whew. Find your pose. Just stretch it out, releasing any tension in that knee. And then lower the knee again. And bend your back leg. Here's where you may or may not want to strap. So I don't really find a strap necessary here. All you have to do is lean your right hand on your block. Reach your left arm forward. Inhale it up and just reach back. You're looking over your shoulder. Oh, if you cramp, let it go. If you have a foot there, grab it. If you don't worry about it. Don't overreach for it. If you really want to have that sensation, right, you can use your strap here, but you can see I'm just having a good time trying to find the strap, right? I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you're going to go any deeper. The work here is just on stretching that back leg. All right, release that down. I'm all tangled up in my strap. Lift your right knee again off the floor. Find your high lunge. Stretch out that hamstring that we've just been compressing, contracting. Turn your back foot to the side position. Take your hands to your knee or one hand to your knee. And come on up, warrior two. And breathe. Nice solid pose here, right? Press strongly through your back leg. Draw the belly in, lengthen the tailbone. Your front knee lines up with your foot. That's it, find it. And then drop elbow to thigh and stretch. That's it. Notice if your toes are scrunching into the mat. See if you can let that go. Press stronger into your inner back heel and see how that feels. Check the front knee, make sure it's not rolling. Find your pose, squeeze your belly. Extended side angle. Stronger into the back leg, everybody. Breathe. And come on up. Release it. And then turn toward your blocks, bend your front knee, straighten out your back leg. If your blocks are nice and low, step back, down dog. And switch sides. Right foot forward, left foot back. When you're ready, lower your knee to the floor, left knee to the floor, front knee alignment. You can relax that back foot, press the top of your back foot gently into the mat. And just stretch. Which side is tighter for you? Right, we already know that if we do too much sitting, the psoas muscle shortens, right? The quadricep muscle shortens, the hamstring shortens. So all of these things we can do to help lengthen those muscles back out. But the challenge is, where does my quadricep stop, psoas stop, and my low back take over? That I find is a really interesting line to not arch into the low back so much. All right, when you're ready, hands to knee. Maybe shorten the pose a little bit. Strong tuck of your pelvis as you stretch through the left leg. And just breathe here. Just feel that energy of that thigh. Good, one, stay here. Two, take the left arm up. Hold right here. Find your breath. Twist, or not twist, but so very gently shift over to the right, little side bend here, but go easy. We're trying to access the psoas muscle more so than we're trying to do a side bend. Breathe. Oh, this is so tight on me today. I ran stairs yesterday. I'm really feeling this one. Good, take it up. Hands come down to your blocks. Allow yourself to lengthen your pose and just slip the toes under and lift your knee. Find a strong high lunge here. Torso long, heels long, just firing up that leg, firing up the glute, resetting, right? The alignment of the knee. Just breathe. That's it. And then lower that knee to the floor. Leave your left hand on the block. Take the right arm up. And breathe. Oh, yeah. Oh, happy day. Find your breath. And release it. All right, so you know what's coming next. Lift that knee off the floor. I'm gonna have my back to you. We're dropping your back foot to the side position. Check your front knee. Right hand to your knee. Inhale, reach the left arm up, find warrior two on this side. I'm gonna turn around because it just feels too weird to have my back to you. Good. So find that nice warrior pose. Feel the inner heel of your front foot pressing into the mat. Reach strongly through the back leg, but watch hyperextension here. Tone the belly, glancing over those front fingertips. Find your breath. And then your forearm to your thigh as you stretch the arm over your ear. And find that super long pose from fingertips to back heel. How's that feel? How's it feel in your body, really, as you do this? Is it super hard? Are you overworking? Good, and then rotate that arm forward, straighten your back foot, you're back in a high lunge, step back to downward facing dog, and then lower your knees to the floor and find child's pose, and breathe. And notice, if your head hangs really low in child's pose, maybe consider a block underneath your forehead. So that alignment, so that we're not exacerbating an already deep curve of the upper spine. Just notice that. How's your body feeling? How's the legs feeling? Right, as we start to just get ourselves more centered, hip-wise in particular. All right, so from there, child's pose, table pose, downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, walk the feet forward, forward fold. Big deep breath. Bend your knees, everybody. And inhale, take it all the way up. Did I forget to stretch that back leg? I did. I think I forgot the other side. We'll come back to that. Shame, shame. Oh, goody. Good. And then as you exhale, come to a forward fold because we really need to come back to that quad stretch. I forgot all about it on that side. Inhale it up. Exhale, forward fold. Now I gotta remember which side it was. Right foot steps back, I believe. If that's not right, it's not right, Cease. It feels right for my body, so whichever one we stretch, sorry about that, everybody. I just want you to come into a low lunge, and then bend your back leg. Good, reach the arm forward, reach it up, big, 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 tall, reach back. Either you're gonna find the foot or you're not. Don't worry about it if you don't. Stretch out that quad. And breathe. I'm curious now. Got feedback in the room. Let's see. Huh? Breathe. Stretch. Stretch it out. And release it. Good. And then press your knee up, whichever knee it is, and turn yourself into that wide leg forward fold. Soft back of the knees, everybody. And then bend both knees, hands to knees, and come on up. Roll your shoulders. And then heel toe your feet. Back to the center and shake it out. Very interesting. I'm not sure if I did both on the same side or not now. Betty said, yeah, you did. Oh, well. All right, inhale, reach up, everyone. Exhale, halfway down, halfway down, halfway down. Notice how the sit bones lift, but the knees stay soft and the belly tones in. Your hands come to your hips. And breathe. And then start to bend the knees maybe a little bit more. Once you're there, big length to the tailbone, big squeeze of the belly, lift your chest. Take the arms out, chair pose. So, you're heavy enough in your heels that you should be able to lift those toes, right? Breathe. Don't let the knees splay out. Don't let them come together. Lengthen through your tailbone if this is bothering your lower back. You come up higher, 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 higher until there's no stress there. Good, on the exhale, down, swing those arms back. Inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, bend down. Watch the knees. Don't let them wiggle wobble all over the place. Try to keep them straight ahead. Lift. Bend the knees as you come down. Lift up. One more. Down. And inhale. Stand tall. Release those hands. Roll it out. Step the legs together. Knees touch, ankles touch, whatever it is for your legs. When my knees touch, my ankles don't. Whatever it is. You want the knees to be together as best as possible. Roll your shoulders. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, hands to heart, come on down. Little squat, little chair pose. Check the back, check your chest. And breathe. One, you're gonna stay here, that's quite enough for you. Two, right elbow to left knee. Don't let that elbow swing those knees to the right. Keep the knees neutral. I'm pushing my elbow into my knee into my elbow. Breathe. One, stay here. Two, release the hands and open the arms. Coming back to a twist. Be gentle here. That's it. Bring those hands together. Take yourself center. See if you can go right to the other side. And breathe. Open the arms if that makes sense. And center. Come back to the center. Inhale, reach. Good, last one here. Exhale, forward fold. Whew. Bend the knees. Wrap your arms behind your knees and see if you can grab opposite elbow. Be super gentle here. If it makes sense, begin to straighten the legs. Watch your back body here, everybody. Big squeeze of the belly. Bend your knees. Release those hands. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, your hands to your heart. Roll your shoulders, shake it out. Shake out the legs. Do the hokey pokey. All right, feet, knees back together. I'll turn sideways here. Balance pose. Might want to come off your mat. Might want to come near a wall. Roll your shoulders. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Come on down, little squat. I keep my thumbs right on my chest, like I don't release my hands from my chest. So my thumbs are touching my chest, my knees squeeze together, I lean forward and see if I can lift my right foot off the floor. Good, breathe, finding that balance pose. Whew. That's it. Good, one, stay here, two, come on out. Three, hands to the floor. Press that right leg straight back. Finding that strength. Finding the pose. Release your right foot to the floor. Bring the knees back together. Squeeze those legs together. Lift, hands come back to heart. Thumb comes back to chest if that feels okay to you. When you're ready, lift the left foot off the floor. Woo. Breathe. Find that on my double mat. I'm wobbling all over the place. It's good. One, stay. Two, come on out. Three, hands to the floor. Push your left leg out to the back. And breathe. Soften the shoulders. Keep them wide. Good. Lower your left foot to the floor. Bend both knees. Hands to knees. Come on up. And roll it out, everybody. And just shake it out. And then take your feet a little bit wider. shift and pivot on each foot and just rock side to side. Let the arms swing. And breathe. Good. And come on back to the front of your mat. Nice job, everybody. If you're still with me, good job. Blocks are toward the front of your mat if you need them. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down to the floor. Soften both knees and step back. Let's do right leg first. Step back, right leg. Now, your choice here, knee up or knee down. Grab your blocks if you have them, and let your hands float on the blocks. I have my blocks at the lowest setting. Fire up your back leg, right hand to your block, left arm up, high lunge twist. Don't let your back leg fall over to the side. Just keep it strong on that ball mound. Breathe as you stretch, stretch, stretch. And notice this twist. Good, release the left hand. Let it come back down to the block. Listen up. Your left hand block is gonna come outside your left hip. And then hands to knees. Remember, your right knee can be down. Both hands to your knee. Woo! And breathe. Your left hand is either gonna go, block's gonna be too low, forget the block. Take your left hand to your hip, take the right arm up, and twist over to the left. Oh, not twist, sorry, side bend. Breathe, this is tricky. Knee down, a little bit easier. Find that breath, woo. And release, hands back down to the floor or to your block. Lower your right knee if it's still lifted. Bend your knee. Reach forward, left hand to right foot. You're making a bit of noise over there, Miss Betty. And breathe, everybody. Woo. And release it. Nice. Hands on low blocks or the floor. Step back. Downward facing dog. Almost done, everybody. Look through your hands, step forward. Left leg. Nice high lunge. Wrong leg. Got it. Switch sides. Right leg forward. Left leg back. How'd that happen, Cease? Breathe. Your hand stays on your block. Your left knee is either high or low. Take the right arm up. Find your twist. Squeeze your left glute. Squeeze that left leg. Squeeze your belly. Find that pose. Remember, the knee can be down a little bit gentler. Find your 80%. And lower that hand to the floor. Good, bring both knees, or both hands to your knee. Lift up, woo! Find that pose, right hand to hip, left arm up. Twist, or a side bend to the right. Oh yeah. Squeeze those legs, everybody. And release. Hands to your blocks, to your floor, lower your left knee to the floor. Bend that knee. Reach forward with your right arm. Take it up, big, 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 big. Maybe the foot's there, maybe not. Just breathe. You got it. Oh. And release it. Simply slide your right foot back. Take both of your knees wide. And come on down for child's pose. Then breathe. challenge pose, I want you to come back up to a seat. So come on up to a seat. Ooh, that was pretty good for an easy class, huh? This is what happens. All right, straighten the legs, everyone. Find Dandasana. Move the flesh out from the sit bones, roll your shoulders. You know, I don't say it enough in yoga classes, but if this is a challenging way to sit, take a blanket or 2 blankets or a block underneath your hips and sit on that so that it helps you lift up really tall. And then fingertips either to your side or palms to your side, or if your low back feels rounded, fingertips back and behind with the elbows trailing back behind you. And just find Dandasana. Squeeze the legs, whoo, press them down to the floor. As you press down, feel the torso lift up. That's it. Take the arms up, optionally. Breathe, belly is in. I'm not arching in my lower back. I'm just stretching it out. Good. And then grab your left wrist with your right hand and push down through your left leg to stretch over to the right. And breathe, soft fingers. Good, center. If you're not going far, grab your right wrist. Come on over. Push down through the legs. And center. Whew, release the hands. Press the fingertips behind you. My fingertips are pointing forward, but do what feels best for your wrists. Lift your chest, lift your left leg. Oh yeah. Push down through your right leg. I get this one from Dad, it's her fault. Breathe, my leg's starting to shake just a little bit. Bend the knee, step over, lift up, wrap those hands around, and breathe. Good, leave the right arm wrapped around your knee, twist to the left. I think we've done a fair amount of twists today. Find the length in your torso. See if you can plant the left foot to the floor instead of just letting it kind of hang. Big deep breath. Release it, come forward. Lift that foot, maybe no hands. Push that leg out. Lift tall, tall, tall. Good, lift your right leg. Ooh, yeah. Shake it, babe, shake it. Ooh, shake it, babe, shake it. Breathe, bend the knee. Oh, step over. That's what I get from listening to Motown music. Lift your chest, lift, lift, lift. Shoulders are soft. Press down through your left leg. And then just the left arm wraps the knee. Come into a soft, easy twist. And notice, press down through the left leg, left heel, keep it grounded. Breathe. And center. Maybe no hands, lift that leg, straighten it out. Good, roll your ankles. Take the feet wide, bend your knees. Dig the heels in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, just reach your right arm to your left foot. Your left hand can go wherever it feels comfortable. If that doesn't feel like a whole lot, maybe you straighten the leg. Keep the other one bent. Just breathe. Easy, easy here, everybody. If that leg went any sort of straight, bend it back. Release that. Inhale, take it up. Exhale, reach the other side. Left hand, right leg, right foot. Your right arm is just comfortable wherever it needs to be. Either stay here, that's a nice stretch for the back body, or straighten the leg to any amount. Doesn't have to be fully straight. Breathe. Good, release, bend the knee. Release the arm. Take your heels to the front. Grab your block. And then come on down to your back. Your block is going to be on the lowest level, underneath your sacrum. So when I'm in class with people in front of me, I go around and make sure that that block is not too high. If I put my hands on my hips, the top rim of those pelvic, of the hips, the block is below that, to the foot side of that. So make sure it's not sitting in the soft flesh. And then just pause here, do absolutely nothing else, but allow the shoulders to soften to the floor, allow the pelvis to relax. We've done a lot of sneaky work here. And here we're resting both SI joints, both sides, on the block, allowing our backs to settle, hopefully. Just breathe, everyone. Good, bring your right knee toward your chest. You don't need your hands. The gravity will take it. Straighten your left leg to the floor. Stretching so as on the right side or on the left side. Big deep breath. Hands are soft, comfortable. They're either on the floor, they're resting on your belly. Try to relax your left leg, left foot. Just breathe. Just notice, everyone. Just feel it. This might feel like absolutely nothing. We've stretched this a whole bunch today. And if it doesn't, that's okay. Just let it be what it is. We don't always have to grab for the deeper stretch or the, the greener grass, or whatever it is. We can be content right here. Soften your jaw. Notice maybe that the back settles more, that the leg settles more, that everything settles just a little bit when we give it time to settle. All right, engage the belly gently, bend your left knee, bring it to chest. Slowly straighten your right leg. Relax both feet. Relax your right leg, just let it be long. Maybe notice where you feel the stretch in that leg, if anywhere. For me, it's pretty subtle, I'm pretty open here. But for others, it might be really deep. Feel your breath. Soften your shoulders, your jaw, your belly. Good, engage the belly. Bring both knees toward chest. Make sure your sacrum is solidly on your block. Maybe tuck slightly so that the sacrum is pretty flat. And then take both legs up to the ceiling. You might tilt off the sacrum a little bit into the bone of the hips. That's okay. Just notice you want your legs to be able to hang up there freely without work. If there's any reason why you should not be doing this, eye issues, glaucoma, high blood pressure, Any reason your legs shouldn't be above your heart for very long, then take the legs down. Maybe relax the upper body fully. Maybe lengthen the back of the neck so that you even get a little stretch from the shoulders to the base of the skull. Breathe. Soften. If this is too long of a hold for you, go ahead and bend the knees and let the feet come back to the floor. We're just going to be here a couple more breaths, that's all. Slowly bend your knees, bring them toward your chest. Lower one foot to the floor. Lower your other foot to the floor. Pause, your feet are hips width apart. As you press away from the block, move the block out of the way. Hold bridge pose for just a couple of breaths. So we squeeze through the glutes gently, we press into the feet. We feel the long line from the big toe to the inner heel. And then drop the hips toward the floor and release it fully. Bring both knees to chest. Allow the knees to roll very softly to the left. We're not going to hold for too long here. Just breathe. And center. Let the knees go to the right. Breathe. Just reset. And center your feet to the floor. Straighten the legs. And just one last Tadasana, one last mountain pose on the floor. Palms are face in, shoulders are down, legs are active, toes are pointing up, squeeze, maybe take the calf muscles off the floor. Breathe, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And let it go. Good, and then truly, truly find Shavasana. Allow your body to settle down. Feel free to bend the knees if that is appropriate, or a blanket or blocks under your knees if your low back is chatty. And then close the eyes and feel all the stress melt away from your body, your mind, your heart. Let there be a little space between your teeth so that the jaw can fully let go. The source for so much of our tension. Find your breath. Let your body melt. And as you lay in Shavasana, notice thoughts that come and go. Just let them come and go. Let them drift through. Don't attach. And if you find yourself holding on, just notice that and let it go and move on. Notice the soft flow of breath. Soften even more. And start to bring your attention back. Start to wiggle toes and fingers. Draw your knees to your chest. Rock side to side. Allow the knees to roll to one side or the other. And then press all the way back up to your seated pose.